On this episode, a recent discovery I made on how to really stress less as a freelancer, but is knowing the secret enough to actually use it? Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome to this new segment called Wins and Fails, where basically I will share with you on a weekly base how my last week was doing, what I'm planning for this week, and kind of share with you what worked, what didn't work, and how I'm planning and taking you on the journey together with me. And so before I actually share what happened last week and what I'm planning for this week, I want to actually share kind of this new insight that I had, which actually built up couple of weeks ago around how to stress less. So as some of you know, I've been working with a business coach, which has been really helpful for me. By the way, he will be on the podcast in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be really an amazing episode. But recently on our weekly conversation, we really understood that I'm stressing out a lot, and that the main cause of stress for me is time. The fact that I don't have enough time to do all the things that I want to do, that I feel that I need to do around, my client work, my own initiated project, and that causes a lot of stress. And I want to share how we were thinking about this and how we were thinking about reducing this stress. So one of the things that my coach encouraged me to do for a long time was to really track down my time so I know where my time is going and that I'll be able to really plan better my next week. And so I've been working with Timely to track my time. I'll be doing a video about time tracking with Timely because it's been really helpful for me. But in general, I can know now, after doing that for a few months now, really on average how much I'm working really productive work every week and every day, and that really helps me to plan next week so that I can really achieve the things that I want to achieve. And I know that on average I get to do like 6 hours of productive work every day. So there's like three hours morning session, then I take a lunch break, then 3 hours of afternoon session. Now, it doesn't mean that I only work 6 hours, but that's actually productive work where I'm, getting stuff done that are important, again, to my goals or to the project that I'm working on. Now, one of the things that we started doing was to actually plan ahead, knowing, okay, I have 30 hours next week. How do I want to split them among the things that I'm working on? So I have, me personally, I have one client that I'm working with, I have the Webflow Masterclass that I'm working with, and I'm doing content on YouTube. And so I have to allocate time before the week even begins, saying, okay, this is how many hours I'm going to do on this project this week because I want to achieve this and this and that. And so we started planning this way, but one thing that was immediately after a few weeks understood was that when I'm planning to work, let's say 6 hours times 5 days, it's 30 hours per week. So it's 30 hours per week. Let's say that's my 100% capacity. That's really everything that I will be able to work this week because, I don't want to work late nights or weekends and stuff like that. So that's my 100% capacity. And I started planning for 100% capacity. I want to be productive. I want to get stuff done. And so I was planning for 100% capacity. But the problem with that was that everything that happened that was unpredictable immediately caused stress. Because let's take a project, for example. So I had a client work that I'm working with right now, and the project is turning out to be more complex than I thought. And so at the beginning of the week, already first day of the week, the first thing I had was session trying to come up with a solution for the client's problem. And I allocated maybe 3 hours for that. Now, by the end of those 3 hours, I did not come up with a solution. And so I understood I have to schedule more time into this, but I don't have more time to schedule into this because I've already scheduled my whole week. And that immediately created stress for the rest of the week. I would have to think, what can I cancel right now? What can I move? Or do I have to work later this night? And so I really understood that by trying to maximize and be super productive and work 100% of my capacity, that really just creates so much stress. And so my coach told me, actually, why don't you plan for 75% of capacity? Don't plan to work more than 75% of capacity. And this is the stuff that you need to get done this week. Only work 75%. If you finish at 75%, finish early, go hang out with your kids and spend time with them, or do something fun for yourself. But if something happens, if something goes wrong, then you have time. You have free time that you can still do those things and not work late and everything. So that thing, once I realized that, I say, okay, I'm not going to plan for 30 hours per week. I'm going to plan for 22. I think 75% is 22 hours per week. And I did that. And that week, the first week that I actually did that, was incredible, because really, as it always happened, things did happen that I didn't plan for, and I had to reschedule stuff, but I had enough free time so that I can move things around and do extra things that I didn't plan for, and without stressing out. So eventually at the end of the week, even though a lot of things went wrong in terms of not everything went according to the plan, I was not stressed out for the whole week, and that was incredible. So that was the first week where I realized the secret of only planning for 75% of the time. But then came the next week afterwards, which was actually last week. And when I sat down to plan that week, I could not only I could not plan for 75%, I actually had to plan for over 100%. So my plan was for 33 hours instead of 3 hours. And honestly, and I knew this is bad, and I asked myself, what can I remove here? But there was nothing that I could actually remove, because I needed to launch this new season on YouTube. I still had client work. I still had things I need to do for the Webflow Masterclass, my course. And so there was literally nothing that I could remove from that, from that basic plan. And I went through this week. I actually worked more than 100% of my capacity last week, and everything did happen. And then I had to plan this week. And so, in this week is, at the end of this week, I'm going for a snowboard vacation with my friends. So I'm not going to be working next week. And I told myself, I want to do this week, I want to record double content, so you guys on YouTube can keep watching my videos even though I'm away on vacation, because I just came back from a break on my YouTube. I want to keep the YouTube running. I want to keep the podcast running, because I want the content to be steady. I don't want to do another break. Just came back from a break. But doing that, like scheduling for double content creation, plus my client work, plus all the things that I want to do with the Webflow Masterclass, that also create a super intense week for this week. And so again, I could not plan for 75% of the time. Again, I'm planning for 30 or even a little bit of 30. And I was really thinking about this and also discussing this with my coach. Like, this cannot go on. I can't keep doing, tell myself I want to plan for 75%, but then not willing to give up anything and again come back to that problem. So my core problem is I always want to do more, even though I don't have time for that. So to be super honest, I know the secret, but this week and honestly last week, I wasn't being able to implement it just because there's just too many things. But I do plan when I'm coming back from the vacation. I think that right now I'm stressing on a lot of, I would say, fundamental things that if I like building systems, and I'm looking now for somebody to help me editing the YouTube channel and some other things that I'm looking for people to help me. And so once I set all these things up, I will be able to reduce and come back. So my plan when I'm coming back from my vacation is to consistently only plan for 75% of the time, and do make hard trade-offs, because I will probably always want to work more, but really try to keep it down. So yeah, that's the plan for this week. For this week, what I actually have to do, so as I said, I have to produce double the content for 2 weeks. This week, also I'm setting up new campaigns for the Webflow Masterclass. So I'm setting up a lot of email automation. So there, just so you understand what's going on, there's a lot of people who watched my my free web class that I have, which I'll link in the description if you want to watch it. Some of them obviously did not choose to buy my course, and so I want to set up email automation where I provide value to them, and then we'll make a pitch for them to buy later on this month. So I want to set this up so this will also be able to keep working while I'm away on vacation. Beside that, I have my client work, which I have to create wireframes for a whole website this week. So this week is going to be intense. But I'm just sharing with you the fact that for me this week and also last week has kind of a red flag on them. I can't sustain these kind of weeks with red flag, trying to work over capacity. So on the next week, when I'll come back from my vacation and share with you kind of how I'm planning next week, you guys, I hope that you keep me accountable to make sure that I only plan for 75% of capacity so that I can work stress-free as a business owner, freelancer, and not, try to hustle my way into a burnout. Hope you guys are going to have a great week. I'll catch you tomorrow.